Are you tired of the bank openings? Is there not enough times for all the other times that you have to do that? If there's some other things you need, then you can also do 2 of them, or you can do all 5. It's your choice. There's also a $5 55-gallon giveaway that's going to happen whenever you do the 2 times and the 5 times. If you do both at the same time, then you got 10 times plus 12, so that you'll be able to have a BP after draft on every check you write. If this is the thing that makes the bank do it, then you do this bank because that's the one that you should do. Hey, what y'all say? Yes? There's only 2 or 7 other banks that might even be able to have the thing that this banks do. The BP after draft on the thing on the back of the thing on the check is the thing that you can do. If you do it all the time, then you will still be paid twice as much, but you'll still have to pay 15 times more all the time. And there's some people there that will help you, but if they're not there, they will not answer the phone anyway. And sometimes if they're there, they still will not answer the phone. So remember to call your BP after draft whenever you're busy, because sometimes you can't do it because then you won't be able to know what you're doing. That's why I like BP after draft, because when it does the BP after draft, it also does a 55-gallon drum guarantee, and you'll have that BP after draft so that when you have some money in the bank, you won't be able to worry about that, because there won't be anything left because all the other money is going somewhere else. That's why you need the BP after draft. So look on the back of your checks and see if that is on there. If it is, you got the BP after draft, and that's the thing with the 55-gallon drum competition. Hey, what y'all say, yeah? I sure do like that BP after draft. The BP after draft is one of the best things you can have at one of these other banks that have those things that this does. If these don't do those things, then these will do those things also, or they won't also. It depends on what you want it to do or not want it to do. Is that's the way it's going to be. If you have the BP after draft, you're going to have things that you can do with it, but you can't do nothing to. And then things you can't do to because you have to do 2 or 3 of them. That's why I like the BP after draft on the back of my checks. When I look at the back of my checks and I see that BP after draft, I know that that's what it means, and it's time for this. And so if you can do it on that way or this way, we can do it all times on next week, but not last week probably. You can't go do to the last week thing, because if you try, it's just not going to work. So try to do it on this next week so that you'll know when it's going to do it. And if it doesn't do it, then do the BP after draft, and you'll have 5 or 6 banks that may or not. And then if they do it, you can go to them, and then it will still not have anybody there at the windows, but they will still talk to you over the phone sometimes. And it will sound like that they're talking to you. So remember that this is a BP after draft promotion, and it is also them just talking in a recorded thing, and then they put it on there, and so that you think you are talking to them. And they don't really act like they're talking to you, but sometimes I get confused and think that they really are. And it takes me hours sometimes. So if I want to get the BP after draft to after backs boo-boo, well, I'm going to have to do that 55-gallon drum thing. I'm going to get right on it tomorrow. Because, hey, what do y'all say, yeah? How you turn that thing off? I don't understand. You know, the thing on the BP after draft, where you do the backwards part. And you put it on the check, and then the check comes back, and you turn it upside down, and it goes backwards on the front. Yes, that's the BP after draft 55-gallon drum challenge that you can put on every check anytime you want to put it on the back. Remember, you can't go into those places on Saturdays because they are called banks, and they will not be there. If they are there and they say they're there and they're at Walmart's or one of them other stores, they still won't be there. So remember the BP after draft in the 55-gallon drum chunk, because if you don't do it right, you're not going to be able to say, hey, what do y'all think, yeah? Or what do you say, huh? Yeah? Mean to tell me the BP after draft ain't the same thing it was yesterday? Because it's today. So when it's today, it's not going to be like it is yesterday or tomorrow's, because BP after draft is different every day. And if you have a different everyday BP after draft, the BP after draft will make sure that you always have that same thing that was not the thing that it was yesterday or tomorrow, but it'll be that thing you have that day. Always that day. That's the best part about BP after draft. It's all about the one day you do it, because the day you do it is the day that you need it. And if you don't have that BP after draft, well, it's still not going to help you anyway, because not having it is the same thing as having it and not being able to do it, because you don't have the BP after draft 55-gallon drum challenge done and backwards and forwards on both pieces of paper that they're going to give you at that other 2 banks and that one. If you don't do this, then the BP after draft is just another draft of an after BP part of some other banks, other ways that they do things. But we don't do that, because this is that other bank, and we do the BP after draft, and we do the 55-gallon drum challenge to make sure that the BP after draft also is going to work. And also, if you do get money from doing the BP after draft thing, please let me know how, because I haven't figured it out yet. What do y'all say? Hey? Yeah? I'm going to tell y'all a secret. At this bank, we do that BP after draft and the 55-gallon drum challenge of BP after draft. Every time you say BP after draft 55-gallon challenge, sometimes you hear a ding. Or sometimes you hear a tweeting. Well, still don't know what it means, so I'm not getting any money. But if you do figure out how to do it, call somebody, but they won't answer because they're never, ever there, or if they are there, they're not answering, or if they are answering, they're not talking to me, they're talking to you probably. So you know more about the BP after draft than I do. You should be telling me this. Hey, what do y'all say, huh?